Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a look outside our beautiful weather window today. Final day of summer, and what a great day it was here in the Wenatchee Valley. Temperatures were a little bit below normal today, but boy, I don't think anybody was complaining out there with light winds, a few high clouds, and just a very pleasant day. Heading up to Lake Wenatchee, you can see Kaler Glen Golf Course at the bottom of your screen. And what a day to be on that course today with temperatures, as I mentioned, hovering around the 70-degree mark for the most part this afternoon. We thought we'd see a little bit more sun, but we'll talk about why we didn't in a second. But let's look ahead today and tomorrow. Boy, enjoy it. Fall begins tomorrow morning at 6:31 a.m. and it's going to feel more like summer tomorrow with temperatures into the lower and mid 70s. Another beautiful day. And then finally, we have gone all summer without rain, and it's finally going to come our way on Wednesday, and it's not going anywhere in a hurry. We'll talk more about that too coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. 2 North Central Washington men have been arrested in separate investigations of child sexual abuse. 4 more deaths in the Wenatchee Valley are now attributed to COVID-19. However, the number of positive COVID-19 tests continues to decline in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan counties. But first, we begin tonight. A 33-year-old Moses Lake man was killed Sunday morning after his vehicle rolled into an irrigation canal. It happened about 5 miles southeast of Ephrata. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Michael Mendoza was driving north on W20 Canal Road when he tried to turn around, but a rear tire slid over an embankment and the 2004 Mazda 6 rolled onto its top into the water-filled canal. The Sheriff's Office said it appears he couldn't escape the vehicle and he was found dead at the scene at about 6:30 a.m. Mendoza was not wearing a seatbelt, which could mean he unlocked it himself after the accident, the Sheriff's Office reported. The canal is at the east end of Road 8 Northwest. The Grant County coroner will be conducting an autopsy. 2 North Central Washington men have been arrested in separate investigations of child sexual abuse. Tyler Clark McAllister of Manson and Jamie Sorato of Wenatchee were both arrested Thursday on suspicion of child molestation and incest. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say McAllister, who's 43 years old, is suspecting of abusing a 5-year-old child. In Sorato's case, the alleged victim is a teenager and disclosed claims of sexual abuse dating back to age 6. Chelan County prosecutors have until Tuesday to file formal charges. Well, 4 more deaths in the Wenatchee Valley are now attributed to COVID-19. The virus has claimed a total of 22 people total in Chelan and Douglas counties. The Valley's health district says the latest patients to succumb to the coronavirus were 3 men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 1 woman in her 80s. Right now, 8 people are hospitalized in Wenatchee for coronavirus treatment. Health officials continue to recommend public masking and social distancing to prevent the spread of the virus. But on the positive side, the number of positive COVID-19 tests continues to decline in Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan counties. The Chelan-Douglas Health District has been tracking the number of cases per 100,000 population over the past 14 days, and in Friday's report, that number fell to just over 200. Governor Jay Inslee has set a goal of 25 new cases per 100,000 population over a 2-week period, and the 2-county area has been steadily moving in that direction. For much of July and August, though, that number here in Chelan and Douglas counties was 400 or higher per 100,000 population. The improvement is even more dramatic in Okanagan County. The once hard-hit county is currently below Inslee's threshold at 18.7 cases per 100,000 residents over the past 2 weeks. The Omak School District said on Sunday that they're reviewing a return to in-class instruction. Coming up next, an update tonight on what the current situation is with area wildfires. There's a new way for East Wenatchee residents to safely dispose of unused prescription drugs. 2 civic groups are housing a virtual voter education event on Wednesday night in partnership with NCW Libraries. And Wenatchee entrepreneur and community benefactor Carl Campbell died last Thursday at age 98. More on his life coming up. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
Welcome back. In another news, North Central Washington's two largest wildfires are now mostly contained, but Friday night's lightning storms across the region caused some new fire starts that crews had to address. The U.S. Forest Service reported 10 small lightning-caused fires Saturday and Sunday in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest, but said all were remote and their growth appeared limited by rainfall and cool weather. The Cold Springs and Pearl Hill fires in Okanagan and Douglas counties are both now more than 90% contained after burning more than 400 acres and 104 homes. Well, there's a new way for East Wenatchee residents to safely dispose of unused prescription drugs. City Hall now offers a secure kiosk where medications can be deposited for safe destruction. The use of such kiosks helps keep prescription drugs out of the hands of unprescribed users and out of landfills and wastewater. Although City Hall is closed during the pandemic, the public may still dispose of medications by contacting the Police Records Department Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Well, two civic groups are hosting a virtual voter education event Wednesday night in partnership with North Central Washington Libraries. Young professionals of North Central Washington and the NCW Young Voters League are the key hosts for the Zoom session, which starts at 7 p.m. Topics include ways to channel passion into action and the role that young people can play at all levels in the political sphere. You can register to participate through NCW Library's website. And before we go to break, some sad news tonight. Wenatchee entrepreneur and community benefactor Carl Campbell died last Thursday at age 98. Campbell was known as much for giving back to the community as he was for the empire of retirement and assisted living facilities he built across the country. Campbell, who had a lifelong passion for aviation, also founded Executive Flight, a medical and charter air service that operated at Pangbourne Memorial Airport for 3 decades. In 2016, he announced his retirement and the sale of his senior facilities, which once included more than 180 properties in 21 states. Those included Colonial Vista in Wenatchee, where he had his offices and lived. He was a big donor to numerous organizations, including the Central Washington Hospital Foundation. He sold the former Executive Flight building to the Chelan-Douglas Regional Airport Authority for its headquarters. Port Director Jim Kuntz and the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce honored Campbell at that facility back in February.
One employee after another, after another, after another said the following, and it was quoted in the newspaper about Mr. Campbell. He is one of the nicest, most modest, and quiet spoken, successful businessman they've ever met. And I couldn't say it any better. What a class act. So, Carl, thank you very much for being here tonight.
I appreciate so much everybody coming, and it means a lot to me in my heart. that everyone would come, and it just makes sense to have the two counties own this building. And I think I gave you a pretty good deal, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Don't worry, all the fun is around the corner. There's no better time to get ready than now with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa Sale. Stock Up and Save sale is now going on in-store and online at bluelagoonpoolandspa.com. Even pool heaters are on sale. Financing available upon approval. Credit 24-month, no interest with equal payments. Stop by today or order online at bluelagoonpoolandspa.com. Free water testing available in-store or curbside. Don't wait, the sale is going on now.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here, having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Parents and school districts would love to restart in-person classes, but to do so, the rate of new COVID-19 cases must be 75 per 100,000 people or lower. Currently, as we mentioned earlier, the number in the Wenatchee Valley is about 200, nowhere near that goal. In tonight's feature story in an online forum last week, Chelan Douglas Health District's new director said safe school reopening depends on expanded testing and what kind of viral spread it finds in the community.
The picture on certainly the national front is that as we've seen people recongregate in many settings, especially colleges and classrooms, we've seen increases in the number of COVID cases and increased transmission. This is an incredibly challenging set of things that come into play with this. For us locally here in Chelan and Douglas counties, Malcolm Butler, our district health officer, as well as members of our Board of Health and some of our key healthcare partners are working really closely with school officials right now to figure out the best and safest way to approach reopening schools. We're looking at these improved numbers and thinking about, where might we need to do some more investigation? Where might we need to know more about disease spread in a certain group in our community? Well, one of the groups where we need to understand that a little bit better is in school-aged children. I think most of the folks out there have probably at least heard since the COVID pandemic began that a lot of children are asymptomatic, meaning that they can have the virus, they can spread the virus, but they don't have any signs and symptoms. So increasing testing within that population to understand how much potential there is for transmission is really important. And then there's also a part which is really thinking through the right steps for how you get classrooms back in and make sure that you have the right disease control pieces in place to make it safe.
One of the things we're working on is, in fact, we had a call with the school districts today, and we're building into our plan the capacity to test more of the school-aged children to give us better data to the experts so that they can make those decisions to reopen. So it all kind of feeds on itself and leads to one another. But so you'll see that come out in the next week or two, where we're going to really start opening up testing at much more robust capacity, and particularly targeted at the school-aged children.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And as we always do, before we get to those details, how about a beautiful look outside our weather window on this final day of summer 2020? Where has the time gone this year? Man, it's unbelievable that tomorrow's the first day of fall. Kaler Glen Golf Course in Lake Wenatchee, a beautiful shot from our Sky-Fi tower camera up that way. And what a beautiful day it was today. Temperatures hovering around that 70-degree mark. That's about where we were. Unofficially 73. 75 is our normal high temperature for this time of year. 55 is where we started the day, and 51 is our normal low temperature now. Record high 1967, it was 92. 1983, it was cold. Low temperature of 38 degrees. 2.66 inches. We have been stuck there since June 15th. So officially, we are going to break an all-time record here in Wenatchee. No measurable rain through the entire summer. June 21st to September 22nd, which is tomorrow. No rain. We have had a trace in all of that time, and that is an all-time record. Sunrise 6:47 this morning, and the sunset now is earlier than 7 o'clock. It's now at 6:59. Let's take a peek at how your Tuesday will shape up. And if you like today, you're going to love tomorrow too. The first day of fall. In fact, it officially begins 6:31 a.m. tomorrow, and these temperatures look more like summer temperatures. 78 for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 77 Quincy, 76 in Wenatchee, Eniat, and a little bit warmer as we make our way up Highway 97A. Omak at 77. Chelan also high temperature tomorrow of 77 degrees. Now let's take a look at that surface loop and show you a big storm. I've talked about it all last week, and it's going to come to fruition this week. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, light winds. It will be mild out there, and there is that gigantic storm. We saw it as early as Wednesday last week, and it's now making its way into the Pacific Northwest. For Tuesday, we'll begin to see it a little bit. Sunny skies early and nice, and then increasing clouds later in the day. Some shower activity will begin by late tomorrow afternoon in the northwest corner of Washington. And then look what happens on Wednesday. We'll see a 70% chance of rain during the day, a 100% chance of nighttime showers. This gold color area, very heavy rain. So I think parts of the Cascades could see some downpours Wednesday. A good chance for rain on Thursday too. Mostly cloudy skies as this system slowly pushes away. Actually, it's moving to the north, and that's still dragging waves of moisture into Washington state. Same goes for Friday. Partly cloudy skies, still about a 50% chance that we'll see some rain showers before this area of high pressure builds in, and that will change our weather back to dry and pretty much nice weather as we get into the end of the weekend and the first part of next week. But Saturday, partly cloudy. We'll still see about a 30% chance for scattered showers. Temperatures will begin to warm up, and especially as we get into Sunday, mostly sunny skies. We will dry out a little bit. I'm thinking here in the Wenatchee area about a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch of rain total out of this storm system. Sunday then to end our weekend, it's going to be a nice one. Mostly sunny, dry and warmer. Highs mainly into the low to mid 70s, maybe some scattered upper 70s for Sunday. And beyond Sunday, things look nice on Monday as well. So, boy, we're going to enjoy this rainfall, that's for sure. Your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast, 56 the overnight low tonight, 76 tomorrow, a beautiful day, and then a rainy period from Wednesday right through Saturday. A 100% chance of rain Wednesday night, 60 on Thursday, 50 Friday, and that goes down all the way until we get into the end of the weekend. And by Sunday, mostly sunny and warmer with a high then of 78 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's Sports Report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kerry Condata. This is the 12th District TV show, aired 8 times every week on NCWLIFE TV. We cover business and politics like no one else does it because I've been there and done it. 30 years self-employed, 16 years in the House of Representatives, and 12 years running campaigns across the state of Washington. That resume means you're getting information you can't get anywhere else. This is the 12th District. I'm Kerry Condata.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're ready for a party on the water, check out the line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors. Plush chairs at the rear fishing station will have you casting in comfort. And your friends and family who aren't so interested in what the fish have to offer can lounge on luxurious furniture in the front. See the Sylvan line of pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. LJ Collier stopped Cam Newton at the 1-yard line on the final play of the game. The Seahawks held on to beat the New England Patriots 35-30 at CenturyLink Field last night. Whew. Newton engineered a 9-play, 74-yard drive to get his team to Seattle's 1 with 3 seconds left. He'd already rushed for 2 touchdowns in the game from that position, and Collier said the defense was ready.
Really, man, they were running the same thing all game. Bobby came to us before that and said they were going to run the same play, and then we were going to slant on it just to go with it. And I really just followed my captain and went with him, man. And you see we came up with a big-time play, so really credit to Coach North, Bobby, and the rest of the defense. Those are big-time plays, man. You can't really just, like, the excitement, just with your boys, everything, just to finish it off, man. It's a hell of a play, man. Imagine if we had fans here today, we'd still be, Seattle still be shaking.
Strong safety Jamal Adams had another big game for the Seahawks with 10 combined tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss. He was quick to give credit to Collier for making that final play.
That was crazy, man. A lot of emotions. I tell you what, man, I'm so proud of LJ, man. He's I just met him, but I've heard so much about him, due to my boy back home, Daniel Wise, who's really good friends with him, and he went to TCU, but I'm so proud of him because he's worked his tail off just to get to this moment and have his moment. Obviously he said he was injured, so I thought, we finished strong. As a defense, we like to be in those moments, but we don't like to be in those moments. You know what I mean? So, it's just so fun and so exciting to get that win and pull it off like that.
The final second heroics kind of took the spotlight away from a huge game by Russell Wilson. He threw touchdown passes to 5 different receivers, now has 9 TD passes in just 2 games. He says it's been fun so far.
God's given me a gift, and just I want to continue to use it, and just give guys a chance to make a play, and they keep making plays, and it's a lot of fun. I always think back to baseball. People always ask me what's a greater feeling, hitting a home run or throwing a touchdown. I've thrown a lot more touchdowns in my professional career than home runs, but both feelings are amazing, and I think, I just love winning. I love winning. I love the process of winning. I love the process of the week. I love that more than the end result even, and so that's where I think it all comes from.
The game was played at CenturyLink Field without fans because of COVID-19. Coach Pete Carroll said it was great to get the win, but he'd rather have fans there to enjoy it.
Really an amazing game. It's so, for the fans out there, we missed you so much. I can't tell you how much, we're so used to this extraordinary following and crowd and energy and juice and all that. And so I don't know if you saw our guys, but our guys were trying to fill in for you. I just wish so much that you'd have been there for the last play of the game. I just think it would have been just so crazy for all the fans. But I hope you went nuts and did what we were talking about doing and enjoyed the heck out of it. Against a really, really difficult defense to deal with, that they've historically been really a problem. Russ had a terrific night again, and the pass protection was excellent for us all night long, handling all the stunts and the pressures and the different things that they do, the variety of things they do. So a really big night for us to handle those kinds of problems, and Russ threw 5 touchdown passes tonight. It was just, you can just see that he's really in command of what we're doing, and his receivers came through beautifully.
Yeah, Wilson's quarterback rating was 132.1. That's pretty darn good. He threw touchdown passes to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, David Moore, Chris Carson, and Freddie Swain. The rookie caught one. Carson led the ground game with 72 yards on 17 carries. As Seattle improved to 2-0. Next up will be another home game Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys at 1:25 on Fox. Well, the Seahawks did have some injuries in the game last night, the most serious of which to defensive end Bruce Irvin. It appears he tore his ACL. He had an MRI and further testing today. And the team, according
According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, fears he tore his ACL. And then on Twitter this afternoon, Irvin posted, quote, "I guess I am human after all," end quote. In addition, safety Marquise Blair left the game in the second quarter with a knee injury. Coach Pete Carroll considered it fairly serious after the ball game. Left tackle Dwayne Brown left the game briefly in the first quarter after being rolled up on by a teammate. He was able to come back and finish the game. However, again, the Seahawks against Dallas on Sunday. Here's a look at the rest of the NFC West on the Les Schwab scoreboard. Raheem Mostert rushed for 92 yards and a touchdown, and Jimmy Garoppolo threw 2 touchdown passes as San Francisco improved to 1-1 with a 31-13 win against the New York Jets. Jared Goff connected with Tyler Higbee on not 1, 2, but 3 touchdown passes to lead the Rams past Philadelphia 37-19. LA is also 2-0 on the season. Kyler Murray continues to impress at quarterback for Arizona as he rushed for 2 touchdowns and threw for another, and amassing 353 total yards of offense to lead the Cardinals to a 30-15 win over Washington. Arizona now 2-0 on the season. Well, San Diego scored 3 runs in the top of the 11th and beat Seattle 7-4 Sunday as the Padres took 2 of 3 for the Mariners over the weekend. Seattle came back to tie the game in the 8th on Dylan Moore's 2-run homer, and after 2 teams traded runs in the 10th, San Diego scored 3 in the 11th, 1 on for the win. Mariners returned to Seattle to wrap up the home part of the schedule against the Astros over the next 3 nights. Tonight's game, Marco Gonzalez on the mound for Seattle against Lance McCullers Jr. for the Astros. Also in the American League West on Sunday, the A's magic number remains 1 after Oakland lost and Houston won Saturday. The Giants thwarted plans for a celebration in Oakland as San Francisco drubbed the Athletics 14-2. Meanwhile, in Houston, George Springer 3 for 4 with a home run to lead the Astros past the Arizona 3-2. Rangers hit 5 homers as Texas powered past the Angels 7-2. Finally, season wraps up at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval Saturday night. Big night of racing. It's the Neil Newberry 125 for Northwest Super Late Models presented by Pepsi. Also the Tommy Wentz Classic for Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. The Holiday Custom Muffler B-Mods, Plum Perfect Roadrunners. I'll be alongside Greg Rentz with your play-by-play starting at 6 on Saturday night. That's Sports News. I'm Eric Grantstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, Kashmir-based Crunch Pack is jumping into the meal replacement market with the launch of Lunch Kits, that's KITZ, in October. The snack tray will feature Crunch Pack signature sliced apples, an artisan cracker, string cheese, and Italian salami, and will cost from $2.99 to $3.49 in supermarkets. The first packages will feature Woody from the Toy Story. The company said Lunch Kits needed to meet Disney's strict nutritional guidelines and are an excellent source of vitamin C. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Tomorrow, Tuesday at 6:30 in the morning, the autumnal equinox. Summer will be over, fall will be here, and as I always do during every equinox and every solstice 4 times a year, my guest will be Bonnie Orr. How to put your garden to bed, mowing, weeding, thatching, the do's and the don'ts for autumnal gardening with Bonnie Orr tomorrow. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. She's a font of information. Can't wait for that conversation. And everything else you need to start your first day of autumn right here. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you live and local at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. Remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or simply give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Hi, my name is Blaine Johnson. I'm at Global Elite Motors. We're tied in with Global Car Care down here locally. So we're not your typical car buying experience. Somebody can come down here, take a look at what we have, and if we have the right vehicle for you, we'd be glad to help you out with it. A lot of times we are able to go out and find specific vehicles for somebody so that it fits their needs, their budget, and all the things that you want without you being obligated right away. If you're looking for a good, reliable car, come see me, Blaine Johnson, down at Global Elite Motors.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
I'm Sue Kane with the Apple STEM Network, and you're watching the NCWLIFE channel.